Well, good evening, golf addicts. I need to be quick. Energy, quick. Let's get something going. Well, good evening, golf addicts, and welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Golf Sommelier. We got an exciting one for you this week. I'm going to tell you about a new wine that I'm drinking, a new varietal that I think is fantastic. It's big and bold, like the state of Texas. And it's going to be a good one this week. So I'm pretty excited about the Valero Texas Open. I've got some great prize picks plays for you. And like I said, I'm drinking a big and bold red wine this evening. You know, Texas is big. They talk about that. They talk about it being a big state and everything is bigger in Texas. So that's why I'm drinking a big and bold wine. And I'm going to talk to you about that wine in just a little bit because it's one I've never had before. And I find it kind of interesting. So we'll get into that. But let's start with the plays of the week. And you know what? We're going to start with the wine by the glass. Okay. This is one we're just going to select by glass. We don't want to pick a whole bottle or anything like that. Let's not get too crazy. Let's just take a glass one at a time and see what happens here. We can choose an over. We can choose an under. And for me, I'm going to choose an under this week, and that is under 70 for Abraham Ancer on day one. I think Prize Picks is a little bit off on their over-unders for total strokes in day one. I think a guy like Abraham Ancer has a perfect game for this course. He has played this course extremely well in the past. Never won here or anything like that, but that doesn't matter. I don't care. All I want him to do is shoot a 69 on day one. I think he can do that as a par 72. That's 3 under. They've got 4 par 5s out here. They can score on this course. He's a great driver of the golf ball. And that's one of the things we talked about that the DB mentioned on the course preview is you really got to drive the ball well here. Because if you don't, if you're just a little bit off, you're okay. All right. The rough isn't all that bad. But if you're way off, you're totally screwed. Okay. I like the way that Abraham Ancer is getting it off the tee. Sorry, let me back up here. I like the way that Abraham Ancer is hitting it off the tee this week. I think he's going to have a good week, and I definitely think on day one he's shooting under 70. So I'm going to take the under there for Abraham Ancer. Now let's talk about what we're talking about. Some wine. Let me go back. All right, now let's talk about the wine that we're talking about. Okay, and that is Tempranillo. Tempranillo, okay? It's a Spanish wine. Like I said, it's big, it's bold. We'll get into some tasting notes here in a little bit, but, you know, this is a wine that has been around a very, very long time, okay? Tempranillo has been around a long time. A couple of little notes here about it, okay? Like I said, it's a very old variety, okay? It's the 4th most planted variety in the world and is considered also one of the 9 noble red grapes, okay? It's a noble grape, all right? That tells you a lot. If it's noble, that means it's good, okay? And here's the thing. Aged Tempranillo wine is delicious. It's easy to identify, by the way. I can't remember why. Couple little facts about Tempranillo that I want to give you here, okay? It's the dominant red grape and red grape. Couple little facts here that I want to give you about Tempranillo, okay? It's the dominant red grape in Rioja, which is a region in Spain. It should be a household name for you in Spain, okay? It comes from the Spanish temprano, meaning early, which is fitting because this is a grape that ripens earlier than most that you might see, okay? So it's ready to be harvested and turned into wine, okay? It's also one of the easiest vines actually to identify because they got these kind of jagged, deep lobed leaves. Okay, deep lobed leaves. It's important if you're looking at that. Okay. Hey, do you like fall foliage? I like fall foliage. Foliage. Okay. I think it's pretty. I think it's good looking. You know what? If you like that, then you're gonna like the leaves here of the Tempranillo variety because they turn bright red in the fall. I'm imagining bulldog red, but that's just me. Okay, it's a beautiful sight in the vineyard. All right. Let's move on because I'm sure you're quite tired of hearing about um, Tempranillo. It's the week before Masters. Okay, look, I'm doing things. All right, it's really good though. I'll give you some tasting notes in a minute. All right. Let's move on here. Let's move on to the FGS Reserve Play of the Week. This is my favorite over heading into Thursday, and that is going to be the over on greens and regulation for Russell Knox. Okay, Russell Knox is a very good player on tour. He does not win a whole lot. I don't know why. And you know what? He hasn't really played well on this course. I don't really know why either. Because when you look at his ball striking, you look at his approach, he's top 5 in the field in strokes gained approach. He's number 2 in the field in greens and regulation over his last 24 rounds. He's doing all the things that you really need to do to play well here at the Valero Texas Open, but he just never seems to play well. But you know what? I don't care. All I want him to do is hit greens. All right. He can hit 13 greens and shoot a 78. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I think he's going to go over on the 12.5 number at greens in regulation this week on Prize Picks. So that is the FGS Reserve Play of the Week. Okay, back to the wine. We're talking about Tempranillo, okay? Campo Viejo. Campo Viejo. Tempranillo. All right, let me give you a few tasting notes on this wine. All right, it's a good one. It's got this kind of black plum berry fruit. It's got this brooding, dark, earthy, complexity to it. It kind of similar to a Merlot, I think. I could be wrong there. Let me swirl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's full bodied, big, like Texas. It's powerful. It's got a plush richness. It's actually not too acidic, which I would think we'd have a little bit more acidity to this bold red wine here. A lot of tannins in there, though, as you typically see in your bold red wines. But it's great on the palate. Great on the palate. I could definitely see this with like a really good steak or something like that, um, with a lot of spice to it in there. I don't know, but there you go. That's the Tempranillo variety. And so moving on, let's talk about the Pop the Cork Play of the Week. Let me pause for a second. Sorry. That's me backing up. All right, now let's move on to the Pop the Cork Play of the Week. And I'm going with Corey Connors. How can we not? How can we not? This guy is coming off a great week at the WGC Dell Match Play, which was in Texas also. He's having a fantastic year. I think he had 2 top 10 finishes before the Dell Match Play. He's won this tournament before. It's an all-around great week and setup for Corey Connors, and I love him in almost everything you could do with him, whether it's DFS, whether it's betting, or whether it's with Prize Picks. And here's a couple that I like for him, okay? He, just like Abraham Ancer, is set at a total of 70 strokes on Thursday. I think he goes under there, okay? I mean, look, it's just I feel like these totals are they're too high, okay? So I think the under for Corey Connors is going to hit. And then here's another one. If you don't want to do that, okay? If you think he's going to make a lot of bogeys in there and whatever else, go the over on birdies, okay? That's currently set at 4.5. I think he could make 5 birdies with the 4 par 5s out here, with as well as he's hitting the ball. I'm going to take the over on birdies for him at 4.5. So Corey Connors under 70 strokes, over 4.5 birdies. I love that for Prize Picks. All right. That is all I got, okay? It's been a little kind of hit or miss, to be honest, tonight. But that's what happens, really the week before Masters. we're sort of gearing up to be, crisp for Masters week. And I'm going to have a good show for you for the Fantasy Golf Sommelier for the Masters. I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's a busy week next week. I'm in Augusta. I got all kinds of responsibilities. The sommelier is being pulled left and right. I'm going to be drinking wine like crazy, but I'm still going to figure out a way to get this out for you for the Masters. I'm going to have some great plays. I can't wait because Prize Picks is going to put them out a little bit earlier. So we're going to have a whole lot of time to digest what the offering is. I cannot wait. But good luck this week for the Valero Texas Open. I think we're all going to hit. I'm excited. And that's all I got. Out!